Hello and welcome back. The hotel I booked was decent, I think. The bed was comfortable and huge, but there were some things. Or like the shower gel dispenser that had clearly mold inside. But the breakfast was amazing. It was quiet and I was able to sleep undisturbed. I stuffed my face full with all the goodies so that I don't waste my money on food at the event, only occasionally snatching a little cup of popcorn. The artist alley had many Hungarian creators with their merch. Look what I found! Lunareth's coloring book, Dreams of Nightfall, made it to the Comic Con. I sent her the clip and she was so proud. I recently did a review on it. You can check it out here on my channel. The link will be in the description down below. The program for the day promised loads of interesting opportunities, but they were also kinda odd. There were a lot of themes that revolved around movies or movie making in general, with actors and actresses as guests that did not really have much in common with the title of the event, comics. You are left wondering what the purpose of that was. Maybe promotion, maybe some connection to geek culture, and the organizers thought that they might squeeze it into the schedule, I don't know. But with this, there were a couple of fandoms that felt oddly underrepresented compared to the others. With Star Wars so dominant in decoration, you couldn't help but notice how almost nothing was said about the franchise in general, and apart from a quiz show, you really didn't see anything about this. Also, where was Star Trek, a similarly important science fiction fandom? They only had one segment where three ladies were talking on a stage about the current Star Trek TV series, but nothing really else. Asian comic book culture was totally absent as well, which is especially bad since in other countries this is a major part of the comic book events, with famous authors or comic book artists being invited as guests for quite some time now. But in Hungary, the focus is still on cosplay as a main event and not more, which is sad. There should be art contests, drawing workshops where you can sit down and compete with others, or just simply enjoy the creative process. They should have discussions about the history of manga, its most prominent titles that paved the way for this genre in the West. You could talk about the different topics in these comic books, have discussions about the techniques, if the creators prefer traditional art or digital, things like that. Also, there was literally nothing from the European comic book scene, which is sad because the French comic book and animation art especially had a huge effect on the European part of this genre. I might sound disappointed, but there were also good things happening on Sunday. There was a dome-like tent that was called Traveling Planetarium, which had all sorts of interesting animated shows about various astronomy topics. The one I was able to sit in was about the Mayans and their beliefs about the sky, the stars, and how it influenced their everyday life. It was really relaxing just to sit back and enjoy it in the darkness. As part of a more film-centered panel, there was a discussion with Hungarian actors that are currently working in Hollywood. Barnabas Réti, who has most recently featured in series like Halo, Deadline or Jack Ryan, and Clara Tolnai, who was in The Last Kingdom or Shadow and Bone. They were followed by a promotion about a historic novel adaptation called Tündérkert or Fairy Garden in English, which really looked promising and is surprisingly one of the multiple period projects currently happening in Hungarian filmmaking. One of these, Hadik, is currently running in cinemas and deals with a couple of rogue hussars in the 1800s. What was especially exciting was the trailer debut of the Pirates of the Caribbean Secrets of the Lamb fan film, which is done by a team of Pirates of the Caribbean enthusiasts that were present in the arena throughout the event. They talked lengthily about the production, how they had built a set for the shooting in their own living room, or how they shot some of the film on location in Croatia, which was really interesting. Despite the budget, the film really has high production quality. They have launched an Indiegogo campaign to get community funding that can help them finance the rest of the production, which I will be linking in the description down below. I arrived kinda late for the Star Trek discussion. They were talking about Discovery, that ugly looking cartoon series, and Orville, but I didn't really understand much. Growing up, I always was a Star Wars girl, and I only recently got to know this franchise due to the reboot movies with Chris Pine and the rest. I know they get a lot of hate, but I really like them. As for the cosplay, I'm sorry, this is really not my thing. I admire the craftsmanship that goes into creating the costumes, and trust me, there were loads of next level costumes at this Comic Con, and they were so much better than most of the anime cosplays you see regularly at such events. But the performance part is always cringe at best, and I can't help but get second-hand embarrassment watching some of the contestants on the stage. As last program of the weekend, I listened to the interview with American comic book author Stephanie Phillips, who talked about the aspect of female representation in this previously male-dominated subculture. Overall, my main problem with the end was that it was pretty much front-loaded. There were so many amazing programs on day one that if you're a part of multiple fandoms, it was impossible to attend everything. There were so many panels and roundtable discussions I wanted to watch, and I only managed to reach a handful of them. Day 2 was less crowded, with some of the programs repeated, which made it at least somehow possible to attend them. Many interesting panels were overlapping, so some of the events were overcrowded as hell, with people even sitting on the grounds, while others seemed to have been deserted, which really made me sad for the guests. It's a major plus that the event was cash-free, but the downside was that the prices were insane. Not just the meals, as I mentioned before, the merch too, and when the merch is that expensive, you really do not want to have that much money in your pockets. Did you attend the event? What was your favorite part of it? Who would you like to have as a guest next year? Let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching.